Welcome back to the Factor Uncensored. Sounds like common sense. If you want to get some sleep, just put the phone down. But some people, that's easier said than done. A new study says some people can't help but to scroll through apps like TikTok and many others instead of getting some precious shut-eye. My next guest explains why these apps are sucking people in. And it's Social Media Monday. Karen Diamond is here to talk about super scrollers. Never heard of that, but, you know, as technology advances, we get new terminology. So what's a super scroller and why should we be concerned about that, Karen?
A super scroller is someone that just uses social media almost excessively. They are just scrolling through social media apps, predominantly TikTok, and it's causing an interruption in their day-to-day life.
And I'm hearing it could be problems when you're supposed to be getting some rest, going to sleep.
Absolutely. I think we've all heard of that, you know, unspoken or maybe it has been spoken before, that rule that you should shut off your electronic devices 1 hour before we go to sleep. But what's happening is that, you know, these super scrollers are having FOMO of missing out on social media. So it's keeping them up at night, myself included. Sometimes I have to remind myself to shut off social media because I have noticed that it does disturb my sleep pattern. And so in these cases, these individuals are just trying to, you know, fall asleep when their thumbs fall off.
Well, you know, Karen, when I get home from work and it's time to go to bed, I tend to watch television for a bit and not focus on social media at all. And it's not the first thing that I look at when I get up in the morning because it can ruin your day seeing some of the negativity and ugly things on social media. But number one, we hear during the week, it's YouTube. People are spending a lot of time watching videos. And then on the weekends, number one is TikTok.
Right. There's obviously a percentage of viewership that's shifted, right? YouTube is predominantly like a longer term screen time, just similar to the TV. It's the TV of today, if you will. So people are consuming it, longer doses of YouTube daily. But TikTok, it kind of has that super scroller mentality built into it where you can just kind of sap right in and mindlessly scroll for hours because the TikTok algorithm is going to show you content that is designed for that. So it's for you.
One weekend, Karen, I found myself sitting on the couch here at home and I said, well, let me check this TikTok out because I'm not a huge TikTok fan. I have an account, don't really use it a lot, but I said, let me just look at these little videos. By the time I looked up, an hour and a half had passed.
Right. You went down.
Wow.
Yeah, you went down the rabbit hole. And this is just a very, very common action for people whose sleep is interrupted, people that are just now discovering the platform. I find myself having the same type of, you know, usage and viewership, but I have to be a little bit disciplined about it only because I do know that this has the possibility and opportunity to not only disrupt my sleep, but impact my productivity at work, you know, impact my day-to-day productivity. And Americans just in general are not getting enough mindful sleep. We're getting disturbed sleep. We're having blue light that we watch until we decide to close our eyes. So I think it's definitely playing a role in the way that it disturbs not only our sleep, but even our mental health, you know, because when we're sleep deprived, that just leads to other chain of health consequences.
So what would you recommend for an individual who just may be addicted and can't, not clinically addicted, but, you know, just they've got to watch their phone, look at their apps before they go to bed? How would you guide them in breaking that cycle?
The same way that I, you know, tell my team and the people around me that we lean on social media as our day-to-day life. I tell them, you know, to use social media in a mindful way and intentionally and set a bedtime. And 2 hours before that bedtime, try to log off of social media, and myself included. I have to do this. I have my other sleeping habits that I do I read the news. That's how I usually, coach myself into going to bed. But I know that social media, because I am that mentally engaged, it does keep me up way past my bedtime if I don't disengage 1 or 2 hours before I'm going to bed.
You know, a secret, read the Bible and you'll go right to sleep.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to start practicing that tonight.
Yeah, read the Bible and you'll go right to sleep. And I always say it's the devil. He's busy. He's trying to block me from reading and finishing this
Exactly.
Bible. I've read the Bible many times. But
That's
Karen,
it.
thank you. We appreciate you. Good to see you tonight.